Hello and welcome to the Tiny Human Knits podcast, my podcast about knitting, sewing, crochet, cross stitch, and all manner of crafty goodness. I'm coming to you from High Level, Alberta, Canada, where I live with my husband and our two pets. We've got a cat named Shrimp and a bunny named Oscar. And I don't know if you can see it, but our cat is actually sitting in the odds and ends basket in the bottom of my bookshelf. You probably can't, but it's her favorite place to sit. She knows she's not supposed to be in there, but she's so cute. Can't really resist her. But yeah, so that's where you can find her. You can find me online as Tiny Human Knits on Instagram and Ravelry, and I also have an Etsy shop of the same name. I have put it on holiday mode as of right now, just because my husband and I are going to be going camping tomorrow, and we're going to be gone for a little over a week. So I didn't want anyone to order anything and then not have it show up for like a month or so. The shipping from here is ridiculous and slow, so it's just taking even longer. So that's why it's on holiday mode, but I do hope to get it back on open early next month, and I'm hoping to have a lot more stock because it's looking very sad and empty. So I'm just gonna make some more stuff and fill it up a little bit. And we also have a knit along going on in the Ravelry group. By the way, there's a Ravelry group. It's the Sweater Weather Cal, and it's just to knit a sweater from, it started August 1st and it's going till the end of December. And you can knit a sweater for any sizes from 3 years old and up. And you can knit any sort of design you want, and it'll go to the end of December, as I said. And I will draw some prizes probably in between now and the end of December, and then I'll draw a grand prize at the end of December. I'm thinking I might see if I can wrangle up a sweater quantity of yarn. Probably nothing too expensive, like hand-dyed or anything, but I'm gonna see what I can do with that. And yeah, make a sweater size project bag for that, a notions pouch, just a nice little goodie packet. I do have one prize that I'm going to be drawing sometime between now and the end of December that I purchased. I'm going to show this now. It's kind of acquisitions, but I'm just going to show it now because it's relevant. But I ordered from a young lady named Mel, and she lives in Okotoks, Alberta, which is awesome because it's very local to me and very local to the size of Canada. Canada, it's not that far. But I ordered a skein of yarn from her, and her Etsy shop is Woolly Wonders by Mel, and I will put a link in the down bar. And I ordered this one, which is called Mardi Gras, and I think it's lovely. So this is going to be one of the prizes, and I mentioned to her that I was going to be using it as a giveaway prize, and she threw in a project bag. There's going to be crinkling a bit. It's so cute. And I'm having a huge struggle. She said I could keep it if I wanted to, but it's the first time I've been able to give it anything away that's been donated, so I think we're going to add it to the prize and it'll be a prize together. And I'm thinking maybe about halfway through I'll draw a couple prizes from the chatter thread and send those off. So I have that. So I think that's all I needed to do administratively. So normally I would start off with what I'm wearing, but I'm not wearing any woolens because I've packed up most of my woolens for our camping trip. So the only woolen thing I have right now is this blanket that I made years ago. It was actually the third project I ever made. It's not great work. It's made out of pretty cheap yarn, and I don't even know what it's made out of because I didn't even think to check the label at that point, so no idea. I remember purchasing the yarn for this in the yarn shop. It's when I was living in England for a while, and the lady asked me if I had checked my dye lots, and at that point I had no idea what she was talking about. So me being a nervous person when shopping, I just said yes. So it might be different dye lots. Doesn't look like it though. Also, about a year ago, my seaming was not great for these squares. It's had this hole in it for about a year, and I just haven't bothered to fix it. But yeah, that's my knitted thing for the day. And I don't have any finished objects this podcast because I have worked every single day but one since the last time I podcasted. So I haven't really had the time. We have been so busy at work. Out of those 12 days, I think I got home on time twice. So lots of overtime and just being very tired by the end of the day. So I haven't really had the energy to knit when I get home. It's more of just a chill out time, like have a bath and dye some wool, which I've been really obsessed with lately. Not for like a shop, I think, as of yet, but just playing around with it. So I haven't really been knitting all that much. I haven't knit on socks at all in the last 2 weeks, so that will make it over a month since I've knit on any socks. 3 weeks. But hopefully when we go on our camping trip, it's going to be a week of not having to work, of just sitting around the campfire while my husband fishes, and I hope I can get a lot done. I'm really gonna try. Although I'm not gonna stop myself from going hiking and just chilling out and reading a book for a bit, but we'll see how that goes. But I will move on into works in progress, and they are pretty much the same as last time. As I said, I haven't knit on socks, so I'm not going to bother showing you the cast on that I had for the second sock of my pink and gray matching ones. So, I've been working on my Gwyneth cardigan by Amanda Jones. It's out of the Knitter magazine. And last time, I think I can't remember if I had the back done yet, but I do now. So I think I did. I think I did have the back done. So I have the back done. This is the back panel. And since last time I have finished one of the front panels. I just have them connected on this loop so I don't lose any stitches. This is the front. This is the left front, I believe, because it's a V-neck. And I'm still loving this design. It's pretty easy to memorize after a while, and the yarn is fabulous. It is Knit Picks City Tweed DK in their Blue Blood colorway. And this is for a coworker who ordered it from me. And I had promised her that I would have it done by the time she went back to college, which she's leaving today. So obviously I didn't, because all of a sudden all my knitting time was gone. And I'm also starting on the second front panel. Just got a couple inches there. It shouldn't take me too long. This is moving pretty fast when I actually sit down to do it. And I'm knitting these on my 4mm Addy Click interchangeable set. And the ribbing's done in 3.75, and then the rest of the body is done in 4mm. I love these needles. I don't have any other needles besides Addies because I don't feel like I need to reinvent the wheel with what kind of needles I like, so just stick with that. So that is one project, and that I'm holding in the bag I pilfered from my shop. Another project I worked on a little bit. I can't even say that I really worked on it that much, but it's my first light shawl. And this is for my friend Elise. Sorry, Elise, that I haven't been working on this enough. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get it done when we go camping as well. And this I'm making out of Manos del Uruguay. Just move that out of the way. Alegria in the NyQuil colorway. It's gonna be really awkward because it's all scrunched up on the needles. But the NyQuil colorway is this gray, and then this purpley pinky delicious goodness is a Ella Ray lace merino, and this the purple pinky was given to me by Elise to try and do something with, so I added the gray, and I am loving this pattern. I've just moved on to the lace. I kind of just established the lace pattern, so hopefully I can get that done. I kind of want to work on it a bit today, but we'll see. The only worry I have is that I might have done the edges too tight, but I'm pretty sure I'll be able to block that out. I think it's just the way that the shawl is shaped. It's a bit of a U shape, goes up at the ends. So I think just the way it's sitting on the needles all scrunched up is making it look kind of ruffled. So I should be able to block that out really well. But I really like working on this. The yarn is so soft, and I love garter stitch for shawls. I don't know if I'd ever make a shawl without garter stitch. So that's that. And I'm holding that in a bag that was given to me by my husband's aunt. Let's try not to get any yarn caught in there. It's this beautiful peekaboo pouch. I didn't think this bag would be big enough to hold a shawl, but it totally is. It's very deceptive. But yeah, and it's nice and sturdy. She used a really heavy interfacing for all the fabric pieces, and then there's a little bit of plastic so you can see what's in there. I love it. It's so cute. I have another one that's a little bit bigger. I haven't used it in a while just because I forgot I had it, which is kind of shame on me, but maybe for my next project I'll bring it. So that's my second work in progress. And the other two projects I have in front of me are future projects that I'm bringing with me camping because I'm very ambitious, and I think my eyes are bigger than my hands at this point. But I have a test knit that I'm doing for my friend Rosie from the Pixel Atlantis podcast, and I haven't cast it on yet because I cast it on a couple days ago with a different yarn, and I wasn't particularly liking how it was going because it was a bit stiff of a yarn, and just not the right squish factor for a shawl. So the shawl is called Una because you only need one skein of yarn to make it, and I should be done very quickly. This is going to be my priority knit when I'm going camping, so I can take some nice pictures of it in the woods. And I decided the yarn I was going to use was going to be this one, which is my hand dyed. It's the Smashed Raspberry Ice Cream colorway. Name courtesy of my husband. But yeah, so I think this is going to make a really nice garter stitch long crescent shawl. And she's releasing the pattern on September 8th, I think. Don't quote me on that. But she'll be having a knit along for it as well. So if you head on over to her YouTube page, you can check her out. She's Pixel Atlantis. She's also Pixel Atlantis on Instagram. So if you go check her out, you can see the shawl, and then on Ravelry you can purchase it and join the knit along. So I'm really excited to cast that one on. And then my last project that I'm going to be bringing with me is the Rombing Around, not cardigan, pullover. I'll show you that picture. It's this one here. And I am going to dedicate this project to Eva of the Charm of It podcast. A, because I'm making that out of Quince & Co, and B, I think she would really like the colors. So it's a 3-color pullover, and the ones I've picked are, and I only know the middle one because it's the only one I can pronounce. This is Clay, and I've got these 2 other colors that I couldn't pronounce, but I will put them in the down bar. And I think they go so nicely together. This is Quince & Co Chickadee. And I received 3 skeins of clay earlier this year as a giveaway prize. And I love the color so much that I really wanted to use it, but I didn't know what to use it in pattern-wise. So I'm just going to make myself that sweater. I ordered more yarn from them, and I never realized just how extensive their color selection was until I looked. So that was pretty cool. So that's another one, and I'm holding that in my patchwork sweater project bag. I'm excited to cast that on because the yarn is beautiful, and I've never used anything from Quince & Co, so it's really exciting. So yeah, that was all my projects, and I'm really holding myself back on what I'm bringing because I definitely could bring more. I always do that. I remember we went to visit family last year or earlier this year, and I ended up bringing 11 projects. I don't know why I do that. It's not like I'm ever going to get around to like most of them. Oh well, you never know. I might turn into a knitting machine on the way there. And those are my projects. So I will move now into acquisitions. I've got a couple. Most of them that I got this week are knit picks and just more commercial yarns. And I said before, I won't show them on the podcast just because they're a bit, not boring, but not as exciting as getting a hand-dyed skein of yarn or anything like that. So I will just show them when I actually get around to using them. So the ones I got that are hand-dyed is another skein that I ordered from Mel, from Woolly Wonders by Mel on Etsy. And this is the first one I saw that I just loved. It's called White Sangria. And the contrast between this deep, deep red burgundy and just this pale, pale pink is so pretty. I don't know what I'm going to make with it. I kind of think it might be something nice for my mom. So, Mom, if you're watching, do you want this? Maybe? Knit up into something? Let's see. Christmas is coming! It's only 4 months till Christmas! I'm very excited. I haven't knit anything for Christmas yet, so I'm really far behind. I won't be working after a while, so it's fine. So another skein I got was from Woolberry Fiber Co. This is the third skein I've got from her, and I love it. It is called She Sells Seashells. And it's just a very, very pale, slightly speckled. It's got a little bit of pink, yellow speckles, a little bit of darker blue. Honestly, all her stuff is stunning. I ordered her advent calendar that will be shipping out in October, November time. It's minis and then one full skein, and I'm very excited. I think by then I should try to start a Cozy Memories like cushion or blanket. We'll see how many ends. I'm gonna have way more ends than I did earlier this summer, so I should have enough to make a blanket. But yeah, that's my third skein from her. I would order again, 100%. Her shipping is so reasonable. It's one of the only hand-dyed shipping like companies for shipping that is actually something I can afford. Canada's shipping is getting a little bit ridiculous. Like a lot of ridiculous. It's one tiny bag of stuff that weighs virtually nothing is $13. And it's making it impractical. But that's a rant for another day. The last thing I got was some fiber for spinning, which I don't even know how to do really, so I'm being very ambitious. But I have wanted to order from this company for a very long time. I followed her on Instagram. Everything she does is gorgeous. And it is created by LCB. And I opened the package, it was all pretty, and I opened it, and now it looks a little bit squished. But you can find her on Etsy. Her fiber is stunning. It is so pretty and so soft. Take it out of the bag. So this is her, let me see the card, Old Birch Tree colorway, which is a repeatable colorway. And just look at it. It's so pretty. So I have my other kind of cheaper, not cheaper, more inexpensive little bags of fiber that I'm going to practice spinning on my drop spindle with before I get into this, because I want to really perfect my technique before I start spinning on this glorious fiber. I would honestly just use it as a pillow at this point. It's so soft. Let me just get in my eyes. I'm really excited to start spinning this. These are my colors. I'm leaning towards blue a lot more now. I never used to, but this kind of blue, that speaks to me. So I'm not going to put that back in the bag. I'm just going to put that aside. And that's what I can remember getting. I did get some Ravelry D-stash in some, got Rowan DK alpaca, I think, in a neutral color, and then a gradient set in sort of brownish colors. Can't really remember. It's been a busy week. Yesterday was my 12th day of work in a row, and I was starting to do some really stupid things. Unexplainably. But yeah, that's what I've collected over the last 2 weeks. So besides that, I haven't really been doing much. I have dyed some yarn, and some of it has turned out really, really nice. I'm gonna just show you. My favorite one that I did, I'm not gonna show you all of them, but this one I dyed specifically for someone, and just with Wilton food coloring, which if you actually get to practice a lot with it, you can make some really stunning colors with it. But this was my favorite one, and I'm going to be calling this French Lavender because it reminds me of my friend Elise, and she's lovely. So it's got these purples, and then it breaks into this beautiful blue with some darker mustardy yellow speckles. And then I have another one, I posted it on Instagram. I used up as much as this one would absorb all the color, and then I just threw another skein into whatever was left into the pot, and it made this gloriously pale blue, almost minty but not quite color. And they go together perfectly because it's the same colors and the same dye pot. So I'm going to be making a shawl out of that, I think. I've got a lot of shawl projects in my brain, and I don't think I'm ever going to get them all finished. But we'll see. We'll see. So that was that. I have a couple other ones, but some of them are a secret because they're going to my fiber share partner. We got our fiber share partner details earlier this week, and it's very exciting. The person I'm sending to is someone I've been following on Instagram for a really long time, so it's going to be really hard not to be intimidated by how beautiful her feed is. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's what I was doing. That's essentially all I've had time for, besides just falling asleep on the couch downstairs. So yeah. I think that's pretty much everything. Blather-wise, we have picked all of our beans out of the garden. I spent the morning chopping some to can. My husband's favorite way to have green, yellow, and purple beans is to chop them up and can them in water and then a little bit of salt, and then you just put them in the canning pot. And we have so far 30 to 1 liter jars canned, and I'm working on the second batch of 12 half-liter jars. And I'm still going to be able to get at least, I would say, 24 1-liter jars of beans out of what we have. So that's going to be fun. That's my task for the rest of the day. I'm also going to make some vegetable soup because I pulled out some potatoes and carrots out of the garden too, and they are getting so big. Oh my goodness. It's very exciting. And I already have the peas that we picked earlier this summer in the freezer, so I'm just going to add those. I just need my cousin to bring some dill from her mom's garden because we planted our garden and the only thing that didn't grow was our dill, which is literally a weed. And so I don't understand why. Next year. Maybe in a different plot, because I hear that dill is really hard to get rid of. If you have it in your garden, it kind of spreads around and decides to grow everywhere, which is great, and I love dill, but it's a bit excessive. But that's pretty much all we've had time for. I've made some jam out of the raspberries out of our garden again. Yeah, waiting for the first frost to start picking out our potatoes and putting them in our cold storage. That's pretty much it. And this podcast was a little bit shorter than normal, I think, but that's purely because I've run out of time. So I'm really hoping that the next time around I will be able to have knit all the things and cast on a bunch of new things, so it'll be nice and busy with knitting stuff. If I've forgotten anything, which is probably the case, I apologize. I will try to fix it for next time. So I'm just going to spend the day chopping beans and maybe doing a little bit of sewing. My cousin's coming over later. She's going to dye some yarn because I've dyed like 11 skeins, so it's her turn for a little bit. And I'm going to knit while she does that, and it'll be grand. So I hope everyone is having a lovely day, enjoying the weather. It's turning into fall here, something ferocious. I remember driving to work yesterday morning and then driving home. Half the trees had turned yellow in the day, so I'm very excited about that. So yeah, I hope everyone's having a great time, and I will see you next time with a little bit more of a comprehensible podcast. Thank you for watching. Bye!